So that was the beginning of 2021. My company, we moved to a new office and they bought a new furniture and they gave me a new chair. So I started using the chair and I noticed that I have a pain in my right hip and it was building, I think within 2 weeks, it built really uh, significantly. So I couldn't really get in a car or drive from home to work without a pain. And I have only 20 minutes of driving. Um, so I thought I would switch a chair. I did that, but it didn't really help or anything. And then I was taking some medication, like, non-steroidal, like ibuprofen or Advil. So it seems like it kind of like alleviated the pain. I think there was maybe some um, some sort of inflammation going on at that time. But if I had like a pain at level maybe 8 out of 10, then it went down to 5, and it kind of became chronic since that time. So, and that's what's happening. Weird thing is, I used to have like a back pain or maybe knee pain, and as soon as this problem happened, all of my other pain went away, and I was like, "Huh, that's really strange."
Sure. Sure.
Something shifted. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So what we find in the human body is that it can really only pay attention, your myofascial system, your nervous system, your brain can really only pay attention to the top three pains at any one time. When one pain starts to get too loud or be too chronic, everything else kind of gets shut off. The pain is still there, but the body's really kind of like sounding the alarms and being like, hey, you got to take care of this, because there's a limitation to how much pain our brain will allow us to experience throughout the day in our given life. And the longer that we're experiencing that pain, it'll actually start to shrink the prefrontal cortex. So if
Hmm.
pain is bad enough and chronic enough, it will actually dim it down. Okay, so these are
Hmm.
some of the really interesting things we find out about pain. Stand up for me and show me in your hip exactly where you're feeling or experiencing the pain.
So I get down. So it starts like right below the glute,
Okay.
and it pretty much stays over here. It doesn't really radiate down or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's only the right side.
So it's not on the outside, it's not on the inside in the groin area, anything like that. It's just sitting right down there.
Well, maybe a little shift on the inner side, I would
Okay,
say.
it goes into the inner thigh a little bit.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, do you have a countertop available anywhere? Do you have something hard that you can sit on, that where your foot would be up off the floor?
Um, yeah, yeah,
Okay. So we're gonna start off with the hamstring. Do you have like a baseball sized ball?
baseball. Okay, well, I have like a few of those. I don't know which size would work better. So like
Okay.
a lacrosse ball, or maybe mobility, or a softball.
You know
A
what?
big one.
Use the blue mobility ball. Let's use the blue mobility ball.
Okay, a big.
And just tag it.
All right. Round. Okay.
Okay,
Just gotta keep
perfect.
going
So
here.
I want you to go ahead, and because you already told me you did a whole bunch of smashing on your glute, right? From my books and whatnot.
Yeah, like a glutes medius, minimus, and maximus,
Okay.
and some hamstrings as well.
Okay, you tried the hamstring as well. Did you find anything in the hamstring?
No, not really.
Okay, let's go through it real quick. So what I want you to do is start off up high where you're feeling that pain right underneath that buttocks muscle.
Okay.
Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get it a little bit more on the inside, closer to the adductor where it's attaching to the pubic bone.
Uh huh.
Okay, there you go. So we're going to be a little bit more like that. Are you feeling anything in that area that's tight, tender, or sore?
Um, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Keep on working in that area. We're going to go maybe for about a minute, minute and a half, and then we're going to follow that line right down.
Mm-hmm.
If you find anything that is tight, tender, or sore, we kind of want to pin it down and let it pulsate for a couple seconds until it starts to relax and
Okay.
down. You said a majority, or you said a long time ago you had an accident jumping into a swimming pool, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you ended up injuring your tailbone, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not experiencing any pain in the tailbone area ever since that injury?
No, not really.
Okay. As you're working, I want you to kind of you can straddle what you're sitting on right now, and I want you to kind of get a little bit more onto the medial portion or the inside portion of that hamstring. I want you to try and test and see if there's anything in there that's
Mm-hmm.
irritating. We have obviously two heads to our biceps femoris, the medial and the lateral. There's actually three. So biceps femoris is a misnomer, but a lot of times it's the adductor that is meshing together with that hamstring. So we're just going to check the hamstring first, like I said, which is what we're doing. And then
Mm-hmm.
we're going to check out the adductor. Did you uh, get into the adductor at all
You mean right now?
uh, previous to this?
Well, I did some stretching, yeah, for the adductors.
Okay. Yeah, stretching, if we have trigger points or adhesions in the adductor or in a hamstring or anywhere else for that matter, stretching is actually counterproductive. It'll actually produce more pain over time.
Oh, okay.
We got to release it first with pressure, and then we can go after it with stretching. Let's get down a little bit closer, maybe to the middle of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I kind of sort of worry about too is just it looks like that the size of that ball may be a touch too big, and the cross sectional area.
One? Okay.
What's that?
Yeah, it does feel like it's a big one because I have to kind of like
You know
put
what?
down very
Go
high.
ahead and try and switch to the lacrosse ball.
Okay.
Have you tried using the lacrosse ball in that area prior to this or no?
I have, but I tried to do it like when I had a knee pain, and one of the muscle that you describe in your book is kind of like here in the middle. Is that the one that we're working on? I
Yeah.
also have the like not as small as the lacrosse ball. Maybe that one work better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that black
Okay.
the in your left hand, I believe. Use that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Yeah, it does feel like I have some tight muscles over here,
There you go.
but they kind of like shooting pain
Yeah.
like over here in the front of my thigh.
Okay. I don't
Yeah.
really so the way that I see what you're dealing with, a lot of trigger points in the hamstring tend to kind of develop and collaborate in the lower portion of that hamstring. And as a result, what it does is it provides a permanent contraction of that tissue. So you feel the pain at the top of the hamstring, bottom of the
Hmm.
glute. But what's actually happening, the problem is lower in the hamstring. And oftentimes, when we use something that's too small, then we can't really hit larger trigger points the way that we need with enough cross section area. Okay.
Mm,
And
mhm,
when we use something too big, the surface area is too big for us to hit trigger points that are smaller than the cross section area. So I know I say it in nearly all of my books that the tool you are using is just as important as where you're placing it because, for instance, somebody with IT band syndrome, they could get on a foam roller and roll the outside of their leg and
mhm,
literally feel nothing. They could be like,
mhm,
like it didn't feel painful. It didn't feel good. It literally felt like I was rolling on nothing. But
mhm,
then if you give them a baseball to lay on and roll, they're in excruciating pain. So much so that they can't even get through 30 seconds of it, okay, of rolling, which is counterproductive. We're looking at least 2 to 3 minutes on the minimum. So
mhm,
now all of a sudden you give them a softball sized ball and you have them work on the same area and it's tolerable 2 to 3 minutes and we can actually make an improvement in how the tissue is arranged and what the body is trying to accomplish with the pain and reverse it. So this is one of the reasons why we got to try different modalities. If the softball sized one, I'm not really feeling too much. Okay, we go to the lacrosse ball. The lacrosse ball is too small. I'm not really feeling much either. Now, when we find the right type of ball and we get in the tissue, all of a sudden we're getting the response that we're looking for. And that should be tightness, tenderness, soreness, anything around there that's referring a pain level of anywhere between 4 to 6, on average. If it's worse, if you have a bigger problem, then
mhm.
you're looking at pain probably in the 6 to 8 or 9 and 10 area. So what would you say you're experiencing right now?
With this lacrosse ball?
Yeah, with the ball that you're using right now, what level of
Uh,
comfort?
well, I think it's about the same as a big one. So
Oh,
yeah, I do find a couple trigger points and I pin them down. They kind of like shooting pain in the front of my thigh.
okay.
Um, but it's maybe like 4 out of 10 discomfort level.
Okay. Let's get a little bit closer now down. We're gonna get closer to the back of the knee at bottom of the hamstring, back of the knee
Okay. Like
area.
almost to the sitting bone.
No, no. So we're looking at getting it down right around.
Oh, okay. Closer to the knee. Okay.
Yep, yep. So what I would have you do, Oleg, is actually stand up on the ground and then
Uh-huh.
put put the ball here, just like that, and let's roll into
Okay.
the lower hamstring. There you go, just like that. And then get the
Mhm.
ball as close to the back of the knee as you can.
Okay.
There you go, right there. And we may try the lacrosse ball actually in this area as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't feel anything right now. Well, if I roll it right below the knee, I mean, I feel some soft spot. I don't know if it's a muscle or it's just a joint that I'm rolling over.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean there's attachments. There's the popliteus, the plantaris, all back there. You got plenty of stuff to play around with in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel the pain or the pull when you are bending over and touching your toes, things of that nature, or just when you're sitting?
I used to not feel any pull or anything, but I've been going to the physical therapy, and what they wanted me to do is roll a crossball over the piriformis muscle. So
Yeah.
once I started doing that part, then I started to feel like this muscle that hurts or whatever it is kind of giving me some aching pain when I bend over. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't sound like sciatica. If we had sciatica, that sucker would be on fire, the whole hamstring going down, probably to your foot.
Mhm.
So what I want you to do now, stand up and you're going to bend over, touch your toes, see if there's any pulling, if you have the same type of pulling on that lower glute.
Mhm. No, I don't feel it right now.
Okay. So we are on the right track with that. Um, I'm looking at one of the resources right now. So we're looking at the tendinosis or the membranosis,
Okay.
even the biceps femoris as well. We're going to check a couple other areas. Okay. But just to give you an example of what I'm looking at,
Mhm.
see if we get it this way. So we have our semimembranosis and tendinosis right there in
Mhm.
our hamstring. You see how low those trigger points are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then you see where the deep red portion is right there.
Mhm.
That's your guy. Okay.
Mhm.
Those are your guys
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And for us just doing a little bit of rolling in that area, okay, which is a little bit more on the medial side of your leg, for you to bend over and not feel it as harshly as you usually do, that tells me that we've created a little bit of space in there for extension. When we have pain, there's a lot of contraction, a lot of restriction. Stuff's like, oh, I'm not going to let go. We hit a couple of the proper areas and we go from stuck to, okay, maybe we create, a millimeter or two of space. So when you bend over, there's less tugging of that hamstring. And Oleg, if there is anything in the world that creates more trigger points in the hamstring than sitting, I don't know about it. I'm serious,
Mhm.
and the amount of desk jockeys and whatnot that I see, people come in with back pain. Not this is a very a much different case, but you even said that your back was bothering you prior, right?
Mhm.
Um, for you to then all of a sudden switch chairs and have this kind of like really flare up, that tells me that there's probably different pressure on the hamstring, which it has accelerated or caused a different type of pain.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So, want to pull one more thing out, and that is going to be the adductor. So, do you have a yoga block?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. You're going to grab the yoga block and then that softball size uh
Okay.
and we're going to do some adductor work on the ground.
Okay.
So for you, I'm laying on my left hand side right now. I have the yoke block going right and south parallel to me. The long way is going parallel to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the ball on the yoga block, and then I'm going to get my adductor, okay,
Uh-huh.
right on there. And I'm going to just move it back and forth as best I can. And I just want to get that sucker nice down and deep into that adductor. A lot of times I find, because the leg is a cylinder and there are so many different muscles and it's responsible for so much, like, yeah, you could say that the arms are cylinders too, but they're really only called upon when you have to carry something, right? um
Uh-huh.
Unless if you are an amputee and don't have legs, anywhere you want to go, your legs are loaded. They have to carry you, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So one of the things that I find whenever we start to have pain in the lower body anywhere is these muscles. Yes, fascia is allowing everything to move is one, but when muscles are supposed to operate independently along with all the other muscles in that region, and you have one muscle that starts to kind of have a hard time, what it does, and what the adductor and the hamstring are very good at is it's kind of like phone a friend, like calling on a buddy. So the hamstring gets tight and it moves over and latches onto that adductor, or the adductor gets tight, and what it does is it phones a friend and it starts to move over and latch on and actually conjoin or glue together with that hamstring. And obviously you see this mostly from a medial perspective, from an inside of the leg perspective. And I've had it latch on to the quadricep before, the adductor. I've had the adductor latch on to the quadricep before and just create incredible pain at the knee,
Uh-huh.
right? And everybody thinks, oh, the knee, the pain is in the knee, it's in the knee, it's in the knee, and they treat the knee, and the knee never gets better.
Uh-huh.
So they're kind of like, what gives? Everybody throws up their hands and they say, gosh, I don't know what to tell you, right? And it's just
Yeah.
more drugs, maybe shots, maybe then physical therapy, maybe then it's some sort of surgery, and good luck with that. I don't know what they're cutting or why. Very
Uh-huh.
strange. But that's the everybody knows that's kind of the continuum. That is the path of modern medicine. And I'm here to help people understand there's a better, different way. It may take a little bit more time, but when we're in this condition, it's our job to get better. It becomes our job. And you learn.
Uh-huh.
You learn more about your body. You then become empowered. And that's what we're trying to do here. So keep on working. Have you found anything in that out, and when you're lying the ball on your adductor, anything in there that's
Oh yeah, that's really tight.
yeah.
I can tell that, yeah. Kind of just pain in the groin and in the thigh. Ooh.
Yep. So the way that you graduate from this guy, okay, is you use a sew right. So you would get a sew right and put it. Are you familiar with
Uh-huh.
the sew right?
Yeah, yeah, I have it over here.
Okay, fantastic. So you can use a sew right on top of the yoga block, and
On top of the, okay.
yep, you'll get even deeper, and that sensation will become even more alarming.
Okay, I see.
So that would be level two.
All right. Yeah, good to know.
And typically, Oleg, when we have the medial portion of the hamstring developing trigger points, and we also have the adductor, okay, that's developing trigger points and getting short and tight.
Uh,
What we are going to have is the glute minimus being tight. Have you got a lacrosse ball into the glute minimus at all?
yeah, Yeah.
What
Uh-huh.
you feeling there?
Well, I didn't really feel anything in the glute minimus. It's glute medius sometimes getting tight.
Okay.
I do roll a lacrosse ball on that part, yeah. But it doesn't look like minimus ever gave me a trouble or ever had any trigger points there.
It can be either or depending on the angle or the line of pull. Okay. And the reason being is because these guys technically in their finest hour, what they are being is stabilizers.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get for in this view right here, when we get this area that's tight, okay,
Mm-hmm.
everything starts to collapse inward from a bone perspective or a joint perspective. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
how is the body going to remedy that? They're going to make the glute tight. The glute becomes tight. So instead of collapsing this far, maybe we're only collapsing this far. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The muscles jobs individually, aside from the fascia and how it's causing it to fire, the muscles are there to make sure that the joint is stable when the muscle tissue is firing in order to move it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is essentially what's happening. You're sitting long periods of time. It's going to affect the hamstrings, it's going to affect the glutes. Now the adductor starts to kind of be like, hey, I'm going to come over and help. And you have this push and pull, okay? Or you have a pull and a pull. So the adductor and the hamstring are pulling the knee this way, and the body has no choice but to tighten up that glute medius in the glute to pull the knee back open to keep it tracking correctly. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was this is probably one of the missing parts for you, which we can continue working on. And then when we work on that glute medius, now you are going to be able to get a much more complete release in the entire structure. You see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If we're just working on the hamstring, we're working on problem 1 out of 3.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
we work on the hamstring, the adductor, and then also we work on that glute medius, now we're loosening up both sides of the tightness that's being created to stabilize your knee as a result from sitting too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So keep on working that entire adductor all the way down to your knee, finding whatever you find. Let me know how it feels.
Yeah. It feels like it's shooting something into my knee now.
Yep. Yep. When the adductor is tight, like I said, it will do that.
Mm-hmm. So I noticed that this right leg, when I'm resting, it's rotated outward.
Yeah.
Is that the adductor as well? They're responsible for that?
It is, but the adductor is it is the problem party, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It is not the symptom. Um, the symptom of your foot being turned out is the glute, okay?
Oh, okay.
So the glute is just responding to the tightness of the adductor. You see what I'm saying? So
Uh,
adductor is the problem, the glute is the symptom.
mm-hmm.
That's why we have to work on the adductor and hamstring first to loosen those guys up. And then we get then we can get the glute to release.
Mm-hmm.
We'll work on this for maybe another minute or two, and then we'll go to that glute.
Okay.
Big deep breaths through those pain points. Last thing we want to do is get all clammed up and stop breathing. Okay, we
Mhm.
find something that's pretty heavy, hurts pretty good. We want to sit on it, breathe, calm the system down, get those neurons to stop firing and being so sensitive. And as the pain starts to lessen or the soreness starts being reduced, we can then move on down the chain a little bit closer to the knee and work on the next lump, bump, or hump that we find.
Mm.
What do you currently do for work, Oleg?
I'm a senior programmer,
Okay,
you know, building some web applications and working with the databases, this kind of stuff.
very cool.
No?
Do you enjoy what you do, or is it just work?
Oh no, I enjoy it.
Awesome,
I
man.
enjoy my company because my company is employee owned and they have this work-life balance, and it's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Love hearing that.
yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that too, man. Like psychosomatically, you have pain, and then you getting up every day and working a job you hate.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be negative feedback city right there, man. It's just gonna be like a loop. You know, the pain is feeding your hate for your job, and your hate
Mhm.
for your job is feeding your pain, and that spills over, man. That goes to friends, families, strangers on the street, in your car, at the supermarket. You know,
Mhm.
I found I found a love of strength conditioning when I was 19 years old, and man, for 28 years now, I have, or 26 years, I'm sorry, 26 years now, I just have not looked back. Every day I've woken up and I just think I'm the luckiest guy in the world doing what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
it's a little foreign to me when do tell me, yeah, you know, I don't really enjoy my job. I wish I was doing something else. But when I meet people that love their job and love what they're doing,
Mhm.
like with kindred spirits, how's that adductor feeling?
Feels a little more loose. Yeah.
Great. What I want you to do now, we test and retest. So go ahead, stand up, bend over, touch your toes, see if everything is expanding a little bit easier.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Fantastic. So I want you to kind of just look at me for a quick second while I explain
Uh-huh.
this. So imagine I have everything scrunched up right in here, and I have everything scrunched up right over here. And I pull
Mhm.
close as tight as I can, and then I'm asked to bend over. These things are not expanding, right? So we're going to have a
Mhm.
restriction at a localized point. It's going to baffle us. But when we loosen that tissue up, now all of a sudden that tissue can expand, even if it's just a little bit. Okay. And we get a nice reduction in whatever we're feeling. So go ahead and let's hit this glute minimus or medius, whichever. Go ahead and hit the medius, see what kind of result you get.
Okay. So this group minimums doesn't really give me much respond, which tells me probably not contracted or tight. Well, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
But
the
when I
best
go to
we can. Zoom is telling me we got 3 minutes and 51 seconds. That's perfect.
okay.
So we'll work on this guy for about the next 3 minutes and then have a little bit of a conclusion to how you're feeling when you're done.
Mhm.
And then I'll send you this recording, Oleg. You can work on it. It's pretty simple. It's 3 movements. I think you're a smart guy, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I still like sending the video just so you can follow along if you want to.
Oh yeah, that's helpful.
And then work on it every day. Hit some of those problem areas multiple times per day.
Mhm.
We're looking at least 3 to 5. Okay. Whatever we are not working on that is tight is moving in the wrong direction. Okay.
Mhm.
Most of my clients that see me in person, they get homework too. I'm working with for an hour physically, and then when they leave, they have homework to do. And they know if they don't do the homework, it's not that they just wasted the session that they had with me, but they're not going to get as much out of it. I work on you for an hour and then you go and move, maybe haphazardly, maybe in bad positions, etc., for your job, whatever, for 148 hours. Maybe your bed isn't good, you're not sleeping properly, you know, um, so on and so on.
Mhm.
And that's really hard for me to compete against something like that.
Yeah.
Got about 45 seconds left working on that guy.
So if I had an injury in my back and like my right rhomboid muscle is contracted, can that be a reason why I have a problem in the hip?
Of course. Yeah.
Could be. Okay.
So when we're looking at the X pattern, you said it's in your left,
Right.
or
Yeah.
your
On the
right.
right. Mhm.
Yeah. So it seems like something has been obviously developing in your leg and your glute, okay, for quite some time. So what that would do is it would cause your left foot to become a little bit more overactive and push more force into that right rhomboid.
Mhm.
Said that you had another injury when you were 12, and
Yeah. Mhm.
that was pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, I got hit in the back, and like up until recently, I noticed that I cannot
Yeah,
rotate my palm out because of everything is tight over here. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but I still have it. So
yeah.
working.
Hey, man, so that's pretty much about it today. Everything's we feel pretty comfortable, pretty confident that we nailed whatever was ailing you.
Yeah. And
All
like
right.
yeah, the adductors probably was the reason why.
Cool. Cool. So keep on working on that stuff and keep me updated.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it.